Lonnie, what are we doing tonight?
We're going to clean the carb.
And we're going to build up that Cutlass. Stay tuned.
Here it comes.
All right, Lon, we got a special treat for you tonight. Pete from Rednecks Dirty Hands, and of course Christina and Jim, they brought down this Canadian carb cleaner we're going to try.
Oh, okay.
It's a little different than American carb cleaner. It's kind of caustic. It kind of smells a little bit like oven cleaner or degreaser or something.
Caustic?
Yeah.
All right, then.
I did this and my fingers got slippery like, like when you get a little Y on them or something.
Are we sure those Canadians aren't trying to take us out?
No, I think they like us. I think it's a safe bet.
Right on.
So we're gonna. No.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, thanks. So for sure, we're gonna soak the jets and all those parts in it, and we might try spraying down the body. The body's a lot of area. This is supposed to be really good for jets, so we might want to save some for future jet cleaning.
Yep.
And maybe we'll throw the body in the Kid Sonic. I don't know. Let's get at it and let's see how it works out, Lon.
We gotta shake it well.
There you go. Bring you back once we're doing stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. The other thing you can do is stick your finger in this way. You can
Yeah.
stick your finger in multiple ways.
Hey now.
Just saying.
Gonna use multiple fingers too.
If your carburetor's big enough.
Look at that. That thing is all the way up.
The clip is up, the needle's down. Do you know why?
This was used for grass dragging.
It was used for grass dragging.
Yup.
That's what the guy Lonnie bought it from did with it last.
Wow.
I was there, and I can assure you, he did not win.
He did not win. That'd be difficult. All right, there we go. All right.
So, should we try some Magic Canadian Carb Cleaner on it? I'm going to say, let's get the tools away.
Look at this.
Right from Canadian,
Yeah,
huh?
it's in French. Yeah.
I'm even moving my sockets. This stuff might dissolve the chrome. I don't know.
Am I putting gloves on for this?
Yeah,
Right?
glove
You might
up.
want-
All right, Lonnie's gloving up for Canadian Carb Cleaner.
Oh, yup.
How many carbs have you cleaned on this channel, Nutter?
I don't know.
Don't know.
How many? You'd have to multiply. Yeah.
So the triples are all 3 carbs.
Yeah.
Twin
Yeah.
carbs. And now, is this got to be one?
Yeah,
Oh
a
no,
bunch
all
of-
your vintage sleds all.
Bunch of one-longers.
Yeah, one-longers. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think I've cleaned even 100 on the channel, but throughout my life, I've cleaned hundreds. I started cleaning carbs
If you
when I
ever
was
want your
11
snowmobile
years
to
old.
run really well, clean the carburetor. It's
Oh.
so easy to
Yeah,
do.
well, clean the carb.
Yeah, it's so easy to do.
And do your
Look at
crank
this. These
seals.
guys have done it 100 times for you. There's so many videos of the cleaning carbs, and it's so easy to do, and your snowmobile will run so much better.
Lonnie, are you well practiced? That's an odd motion.
Right?
I don't. Let me get that with my good hand. With my strong hand. All right. We're going to call it good.
I'm sure that's good. I'm stepping back.
Yeah. All right. So,
I know you don't want that in your eyes.
No, that's why I'm worried if it's going to
all
ricochet
right.
off of
So
something.
we're going to go.
It is super powerful.
Yeah.
We
brand
I
new
gave
can.
I gave it a test spray when Pete was here, and holy cow! Well, look at him with the delicate touch. All right, we'll be back after Lonnie's done spraying. We'll let you
right
know.
for wide open.
Damn. Whew, that is strong. Wow. All right. So I have a question. It is definitely working. It's slimy, but it's not like evaporating, so it's still dirty.
It ripped all the gunk right off. I could see it on your
Oh,
gloves.
it did. Oh, yeah. Without
Big
it,
difference.
oh, it
Yeah.
definitely ripped the gunk off.
So I
But
see.
now what?
I see 2 choices. Either we throw it in the ultrasonic, or now follow up with the American carb cleaner.
Oh, American over Canadian.
Well, let's see. If she goes up in smoke, we know, or get bad fumes.
Okay.
But yeah, anything? I don't see smoke.
There's nothing is like lighting up. My hands aren't on fire or anything. So definitely harder to control the spray on that though.
That may be because that's from Walmart.
Oh, you got the good stuff. Well, it definitely took the gunk off.
I see a dramatic difference.
I see
dramatic difference in it.
That's way cleaner.
I agree, but look at that. I mean, it's still, you can still see it's all on there. I think that it.
I'd like to see some on that body.
Well, how much of it
breaking it loose that works, but I think we're still going to have to like soak it.
Well, how much of it went back on from your gloves? Because your gloves got filthy.
That I suppose that's true.
I think that's what's going on.
Well,
so what? Try the body. Let's see what it does on the body, and spray it. Let's let it sit a few minutes.
Or maybe you just need to wipe them down with a rag or a paper towel.
Well, I'm not going to use the air nozzle.
No, we're not blowing the stuff all around the shop. Oh yeah.
You want a toothbrush?
What? Do I look like Details?
Okay.
Details is not here.
D nice.
D nice. I know, right?
All right, Lonnie. For the one more time for the camera.
I am saying that's some pretty cool shit.
Show it up close.
Yeah. Look at that. Took all those stains off of there that even the ultrasonic 6000 won't take off of them.
Yeah, usually that kind of leaves that stuff on. So that is pretty impressive.
That's pretty damn impressive.
That kind of backs up my theory that there is obviously some solvent in it, but it's got that caustic component, and that just dissolves grease, the caustic, like lye. Lye, that's why lye is in drain cleaners.
Yeah, there's definitely something in there that I don't want to get, like...
You don't want to eat it.
You don't want to eat it?
There's so many warning labels on this can.
Yeah, but they're in French.
It's all in French. I can't read it.
So we have an excuse, right, Todd? All right, so what I did was I took your Canadian stuff and I filled the can up. So we're just kind of washing everything out. I bet that beer smells better than this.
Yeah, this smells good.
Yeah. So the reason why that green stuff didn't come off okay, got it.
He's got a monkey with his hand in the coconut.
But yeah, I think it was because I had the combination of American carb cleaner and Canadian carb cleaner. But
well,
look at this thing.
Let's show this. Holy cow! Yeah.
Look at that. Took the green right off of that thing.
Wow! And look at all these. That really does a nice job on the brass. Holy cow!
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty good stuff.
I'm gonna have to see if Stratacheck can bring a case of that down for me from the city that rhymes with fun. Regina, Canada.
Pete from Redneck and Dirty Hands stopped by the Nutter Speed Shop. Left a sticker for me. A couple little ones too. These will be stuck up in the shop somewhere in there, so you guys will all see this stuck in the shop at our place sometime. So
there you go.
Appreciate that. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Lonnie's claiming he doesn't remember how it goes together. I'm calling bullshit. We'll bring you back when all those shiny pieces are won. Let's get the crank seals changed on this so we can get that sled back together and have a face-off with the TX 340. All right, so if you didn't know, this is a 440 fan with a single carb, and Lonnie bought this sled. It was running, but for all we know, the crank seals have never been changed. And I am tired of waiting to get this thing done. It's been going on all summer. So I'm going to get after it today and blow this motor apart, and we'll change the crank seals. All right, I spent a few minutes cleaning this out, and I've greased the lips of the seals where they seal, and I cleaned up the end of the crank even, so I won't be wiping any dirt in there when I put the seal on. I could give this a little more of a wipe. I was more worried about the PTO. There we go. All right. So we got that. I got my 3-bond 1184. If you like some other flavor, good for you. Use whatever you want. This is what I use. Maybe I should just say it's what I'm using today. All right. So you'll notice I left the oil pump on. So I may have to kind of spin the crank to get the gear to mesh, which I'm doing. There we go. All right, it's the next morning. Water pump Tim's over. And, oh yeah, if you need water pumps for your Ultra, XCR 800, any Ultra-based motor, I'll put his card up right now. All right, so I just showed you guys the pressure check. The last video I shot was the TX 340. It's the same on this, except for luckily this has 1 carb. And we got a leak, and that looks like a leak right there. Right there. I'm not seeing any others yet. It's a pretty aggressive leak. You can see how fast that's falling off. So I'll get that fixed up, and then we'll chase the next leak. All right, she's all sealed up again. The sealant's still wet, so we're only going to go to 7. And I blocked off the oil port there, because Tim noted the oil port was leaking a little bit. So let's see how this goes. Bring you back at the end. All right, I'm calling it there. So I just want to mention, there is a torque for these engine mounting bolts. If you dig up the old 72 to 81 Master Polaris PDF, it's actually in the body section, not the engine section. And apparently some sleds had 3/8, which I've never seen. But for these, thanks for moving the camera, Daisy. But for these 7/16, it's 55 to 60. It's Saturday morning, and I'm out here working on this Cutlass because I want it done. Show you what I got going on next. All right, next up we'll be getting the gas tank in, but it's a little complicated. Look at that. Somebody glued the fitting in with JB Weld. And this one down here, this one is for like a sight tube for a fuel gauge. So that's just peachy. So we may have to like drill another hole and put a push-in fitting or something. I don't know. Let's take a look. Let's see how the pickup line looks. If the pickup line seems like it's going to be okay, and I can't see it at all. Let me get a flashlight and I'll come back to you, but I'm anticipating probably drilling a hole and putting a push-in fitting right there. I think I got lucky here. So I had this flashlight placed into the tank, and I looked in there and I could see the pickup line is intact. When I shake it around, I can hear there's a weight on the end. It appears to be made of the same line as this. Seems like it's flexible enough. We're going to let it ride. I don't think the sled's going to see very many miles. We'll just go with it. If it does ever break off, why, that's when we'll drill a hole and put a push-in fitting and do a new pickup line. This extra line, I think I said this already, but it's for a fuel gauge. It's just a sight tube. And then Wes Hole donated this tank. So if you go back and look at the Princeton video, you can see the cool stuff Wes Hole makes. I'd encourage you to contact him if you need any of that kind of stuff. Thanks. Well, let's bring you in for a midway check-in on this process, show you how far I've gotten in the last hour and a half. I got the oil pump cable hooked on. That was 45 minutes of no fun. You just can't get your fat fingers in there. I can't anyways. Impulse line is on. I have not plumbed the fuel tank yet, except for this thing, which is, it's basically, it's a fuel gauge. You look right here and it shows you the fuel level. The recoil, you can see it just ate up that console. There was no good guide. So I drilled a hole. Let's see if I can move this stuff. I drilled a hole through the handlebar support here, and just used a 1/4-inch eye bolt. So now Lonnie's got a recoil guide. What else? Carbs on, carb cables are adjusted, choke cables adjusted. That's about it. Gas tank springs are on, holding that down. So a little more plumbing, and we ought to be able to ride this thing before too long. All right, I think we're together enough for a test fire. Fuel line's all hooked up, impulse line. Oil line is on, and I made sure it's solid. I burped all the air out of the line, and there's a screw crack down here on top of the pump, and did that. So she should be good. But I don't necessarily trust that oil pump. This thing was running on premix when it came to the shop. So I did mix up some premix, and that's what's in the gas tank. And remember, spark plugs are cheaper than pistons. So running some premix for a while till you verify your oil pump works, it's not a bad idea. And then also, you don't necessarily have to smoke yourself out holding up the oil pump lever with a string or a hook or something, and wait until you're sure you got enough oil. I mean, as soon as it's got fuel, it's got oil if it's got premix, right? So let's fire this thing up. All right, she's pumping fuel. So if that tack is to be believed, this thing's coming in at 3,500 RPM. Seems way too low, but I've never dealt with a direct drive before. She's running okay. I'm going to check the track tension quick and the track alignment, and I don't know. That's probably it until Lonnie gets here. Well, I just checked the track tension and alignment, and it's pretty tight, and the adjusters are all the way loose. The axle is at the, forward end of the slot, so there's nowhere to go. This is an old rubber track, and rubber tracks can shrink, so that's what I think. So we'll have to get Lonnie to put some miles on this thing this winter, and after maybe 5 miles or maybe a ride up to EJ's and back, we'll recheck his track tension and get it dialed in then. That should be enough to stretch it out. As you can see, I have Lonnie's Cutlass together far enough to drive it, but it's not together. There's no seat, there's no hood, this isn't really tightened down, but I can get a little test run in. I don't know how the week's gonna play out. It's Monday, and I gotta drop this video on Sunday, and there's a lot of rain in the forecast, and tomorrow it's supposed to be like 90 degrees again in the middle of September. It's 80 right now. I don't know how it's gonna act. One problem we discovered, the oil bottle's got a crack. So I got another one of those ordered off eBay. Crossing my fingers that one's better. Clutching is highly suspect. So let's give it a test. Maybe I'm gonna just whip it back into the shop quick and change out the primary spring. I don't know. Let's find out. Let's give her a yank. Half choke, I think. Well, that is a very unexpected victory beer. She dangles. I don't know how she dangles, but she dangles. I did not expect that. And it actually pulled pretty good. Clutch on the tack looked like it was coming in about 4,000 RPM, which is way lower than I'd normally do, but it seems to work the way this thing's set up and the way it's geared. When it was cold, it was definitely more snappy. As it warmed up, it didn't lose much, but it lost a little. But overall, it's good. It turns at least as good as the TX, maybe better. I'm pretty impressed. Lon, I do think you got a winner here. She'll be real good for your grandkids, and, you know, maybe it'll be good enough for you to ride up to EJ's sometime. So, with that said, huge thanks to the patrons. I really appreciate your support of the channel. You guys are the best. The patrons keep us going with the small donation each month, $5 or $10, and it really helps us with the beer, with the pizza, with the parts, with everything, and with motivation. Number one is motivation. I want to thank everybody else that watched. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet, and of course I want to thank everybody that's given us a super thanks, and their names are up on the screen right now. So with that said, I guess the next place I'll see you is at the Twin Ports Swap Meet up in Duluth. See you there.